of these announcements. Um, Moving forward, what I really want to do, and I've talked to people about this before. I know I've talked to Hostile about this, and I know, Steve, I've talked to you about this as well, is I personally want to kind of step back in the realm of streaming. And I want to build the Discord differently than what everyone else, like what every other Discord does. It says hi, good morning, interactions here and there, and then everyone posts that they're going live. Like I want to flip that script. I've made no bones about it. But in order to do that, I feel like I have to kind of be the example piece. We lead by example. So over the next few months, you guys are going to see me streaming a little bit less, and a little bit less, and a little bit less. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going away. What this means is I am going to be more back-end stuff, and this is my other thought. So, upon all of this, what I have determined and what I have thought about is no longer, like, using my knowledge, and thank you, Hostile, for this, using the knowledge and the time that I have to help others. So, within the next couple days, maybe early next week, maybe late next week, or whatever, I'm going to be really focusing on strictly doing, or focusing on different things like having a Patreon account and have it generating through stream help and that kind of stuff. I haven't quite figured out pricing for stuff, but I'm going to be really focusing and emphasizing on that. I feel like I have a super amount of knowledge that I can give people, and I have the time to research and I have the time to do everything. So part of this was understanding that I have so much extra time than most other people. And when most other people don't have time to do something, they just won't do it. So that's where somebody like me who has the extra time to do it will do it. Like I have time to look up people's stream stats. I have time to watch VODs on people's streams to be like, hey, like what worked, what didn't work, when did you see a dip, and all those things. And then I can kind of go from there and kind of help other people build a platform, build a brand, build that kind of like space on the internet. Because I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people, and a lot of the times it's, well, I don't have time to do that, or I've been meaning to do that, and like work and life and family just gets in the way. Because let's be honest, if you're an average working American or any active member of society, you have an 8-hour day. You wake up in the morning, have your coffee, have your breakfast or your tea, you go to work for 8 hours. During those 8 hours, you're not focusing so much on stream stuff or family stuff, you have work to do. You come home, you have family stuff to do, cleaning the house, cooking, the whole bit. Whatever the scenario, however you say it, my wife makes fun of me all the time. Yeah, okay. I wasn't pointing out names, but Ocelot, you've always said that in your streams, that I've just find it. I wasn't picking on you specifically, but yeah. So, but because people have things to do, right? So people have 8-hour work days. They come home, they have dinner to make, they've got a house to clean, they've got kids to look after, they've got other things to do. They don't necessarily have time to be like, oh, let me research this one thing about my stream, and then just not have time to implement it. So that's kind of where I'm going to try and focus more of my attention on. And I think it's going to be a really cool thing that I'm going to have set up probably in the Discord. I'm probably going to make a Patreon section in the Discord that if you are a member, if you do subscribe to me on Patreon, like I said, the pricing and stuff I'm still tweaking with. But things that are going to include are going to be things like, you know, working with your overlays, seeing what works, what doesn't work, ways to improve your stream overlays, stuff that you may not think about, things you may not see, things you probably don't notice. Yeah. So, and then, you know, having different things like giving you, the streamer, marketing advice in the sense of like, oh, hey, you want to stream this game? Well, okay. These are the highs and low points. These are places you can go to help grow your audience. These are small things you can do that will help you as the streamer come in and say like, oh, this is a really cool idea, right? That I didn't think of, that you found that I should try and work on. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to make you a millionaire. It's just not going to happen. Like, but what I am going to give you is advice and tips to help build you as a brand, help build you as somebody who has to take you can take some of that worry away from what you're doing as the forefront to then focus on your streams and let me handle the other stuff. So stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna have tiers set up for like an 8-hour deep dive into coaching, right? So sitting there saying, hey, we're gonna watch one of your VODs back and you're gonna tell me what you think, and I'm gonna tell you what I think, and then things we think together that we can improve on as far as stream goes. Rather do more of this, do less of this, you know, fun things you can do in and out of dead spaces. Stuff like that that you probably like are kind of conscious of but need another voice to do. So, and then I'm going to have a tier in there too that we do something completely different from streaming, and we do things like marketing seminars that we talk about what things are trending in the world of streaming, what things are trending in the way of audiences, where you should be targeting your audience, where you should be putting exterior stream stuff like clips, or where you should be putting highlights, where you should be putting and implementing your stuff outside of Twitch or any other platform. I'm going to give you guys a little breakdown. If you only stream to Twitch, you have zero chance of success. Okay? Zero chance. That's not rocket science. That's just literally proven over years in data. You need to spread yourself out. So I am willing to take streaming. I'm willing to drop streaming to help others, because here's the bottom line. No matter how much people talk to you about your content, you are the strictest person for your content. And I will tell you right now, I personally love my content, but I can also guarantee you 90% of the people don't. And I'm going to be honest with you. You have to understand that about your content, and you have to know when your content for others isn't good content. Now, I think my content is good. I do not think my content is necessarily top tier content. But I do think my content is good. I think my content appeals to others. I think my content is something that other people do look forward to. But the content I bring isn't necessarily content that others want to see, or that content that I can use to grow my knowledge and my platform. So, that being said, I will say this again. I like my content, but I can almost tell you that I know, like, not to sound harsh, not to be truthful, not to talk down to other people. There's a lot of people that my stream is not for. And those people come in and they support me because they love me and they appreciate everything I do. But they also do know that, like, what I do isn't entertaining for them for X reason. Like, they don't understand what's happening. Like, it's hard for them to follow what I'm doing. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. Kid, hang on. And that's just, like, and that's not, like, everybody that streams has to have that knowledge of, hey, I have 12 people in my chat right now, or I have, 30 people in my chat right now, and only 6 people are interested. Like, you have to understand that. And those 6 people are the people that are chatting in your stream. There is under no scenario where I am going to have 20 people in my stream and have 20 different people chatting. It's just not, that's just not how the world works. And it doesn't work that way because not all 20 people are interested in what you're doing. They may like you and they may want to be there to support you, but they don't necessarily like your content. Because if they did, they would be more engaged. And that's, and this is giving out kudos to where kudos is due. Average Ocelot, Steve-O, Heroic, you guys have the most interactive chats I have seen. And the reason for that is because the content you bring brings other people in. Ocelot, you may pull, you may not have the numbers I think you deserve, but out of everybody in your chat, there is not one person that's not chatting in your chat. Steve, same way. Heroic is another one. Heroic will have 15 people in his chat, and I can literally count 10 to 12 different chatters at one time. He has a very interactive chat. Now, there are times in my stream that I have 12 people in my stream. Rhino, hello. Like, right? So, and that's just the thing. And I know that if I have 12 people in my chat, at certain times of the day, people are working. I get that, right? That not everyone can, be there and interactive and everything else, but there are people that are there. Well, that kind of counts. But so the reality of it is, as much as I hate to bring myself down, there are 12 people in my chat, and I will guarantee you that out of the 12 people watching, there's 3 people to 4 people watching because they like my content. And then the other people are there because they like me, so they want to support me. They don't have to like my content, but they're not going to necessarily be interactive because they don't, my content doesn't appeal to them. I appeal to them as a person, but my content doesn't appeal to them as an interactive space. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Support is support, regardless of how it is given. Right? Rhino, perfect example. Rhino will be in my stream on any platform, anywhere, in the middle of work. Being there because he likes me and he wants to support me. My content might not be for him, but he's here because he likes me. So kudos to Rhino. So it's one of those things that as a streamer, you have to understand when your content here and your viewers here where they meet, right? So for me, having a super interactive chat, because I have a lot of fun things to go on in my chat, super fun things, that if people would interact with my chat as a whole, would have so much fun doing. But it's just not there. And this isn't like I suck at streaming. I don't think my content is bad. Or again, I do not think my content is bad. But what I am currently doing in the realm of streaming isn't for a lot of people. Am I saying anything wrong? Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy Challenge runs appeal to a very small market of people. Right? And I've talked to Steve about this. You can go right now on Twitch and find Final Fantasy streamers. And what do they care about? Speedruns. They don't care about somebody like me torturing myself for 3 hours trying to beat one boss. They don't care. If they're going to watch someone struggle, they're going to watch Elden Ring. They're not going to watch Final Fantasy VIII. And whatever. That doesn't make my content bad. It just makes my content not appeal to a lot of people. So, my knowledge of what I know and understand in chat about streaming and the time I have to do to look into streaming and the people that I know I can pass my knowledge off to is way more important to me than having 20 people in my chat and having 18 of those people interactive in chat. Like, you know, hey, there we go. What up? What up, Hyrule? Well, okay, Hyrule, you haven't quite met my challenge runs yet. They are not necessarily, they are I cripple myself runs. But hello, welcome in. I was just talking about how in general, that I'm part of a Discord community and that my Discord community as a whole are great, genuine people, and talking about how I want to change how my Discord is run and how I want to help other people, other content creators, based on the fact, okay, cool. So you can see what I'm dealing with on top of it, so this will be fun. So just talking about how my content as a whole doesn't appeal to everybody, but I have vast knowledge of streaming and marketing and all those kinds of things, so I'm willing to help others kind of get their sold content to where they want it to be, more so than me being in front of you guys. So I honestly think I'm doing less good as a streamer. Wow, less good. Listen to my English. I'm doing less good for everybody by being live. If I can help anybody get, you know, better at streaming and understanding what goes into streaming on a daily basis, I've done my job as a content creator. So that's that. So again, to recap everything, new stream time, I'm going to be streaming at 9:30 a.m. EST, which is 2:30 GMT time. They're 5 hours ahead of where I live. And then I'll be streaming for 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours until about 12. And then moving forward, again, things like Discord, having a spot in my Discord for people in my Patreon that we can schedule times that, you know, we can have these meetings, that we can have these interactive meetings where we can do these tool tips, where we can talk about this whole Twitch live streaming marketing place. I feel that's where I'm better suited than being in front of you guys. I have vast knowledge, and I can't give you vast knowledge if I'm dying to a dell for 3 hours. Okay, so there's that. And then, like I said, the Patreon will be there, and I'm going to work with the pricing and stuff like that. I'll talk to a few people and see what everyone thinks is fair pricing for what I'm offering and all of these other things. But anyway, so Now let's get into the brunt of all of this. Today, we are, I repeat, we are, yes. And Hyrule, that's kind of the point. Like, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I have more time every day to watch back VODs of people that, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, like, I can sit there, like, Hostile and I were on a Discord call over the weekend or on a day this week, and we were discussing over things, and when I got off that phone call with him, I was like, wow, like, he told me, as a business owner says, you can do something with this. Makes me feel a lot better. Because me being a stay-at-home dad, I can literally sit there and spend 3 hours of my time, right? Obviously getting paid for it because you, the subscriber to my Patreon, chose me to go find this information out for you. That I can sit there and say, okay, where were you 6 months ago? Where are you now? Where do you want to be 6 months from now? Let me get you there. The consumer. So, like, that's where I feel my content as a person and as a business mind is better than me being in front of you being like, hi, I like my content, but, like, I have more to offer than just being live playing video games. Like, let's be real.
Video right now, where I was staring awkwardly.